Ex-NFL All-Pro LeSean McCoy threatens severe step if Eagles coordinator returns and Eagles Hall of Famer is calling on the team to sack its offensive coordinator following a 22-19 loss in overtime to the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Former running back LeSean McCoy has a strong stance on OC Kevin Patullo, pinning the responsibility for the Eagles' recent troubles offensively entirely at his feet, and claimed that if Patullo was back, he would call on the team to unretire his number 25. "If he's back, I'm leaving the Eagles," McCoy announced on the Speakeasy podcast alongside Emmanuel Acho and Kieran Hickey-Semple. When Acho mentioned that McCoy was in the team's Hall of Fame, McCoy doubled down on his take. "Take me off," McCoy said. "Nobody has ever asked. I'm going to say Mr. Lurie. It's either me or Kevin. If Kevin is not fired, put 25 back out there on the street. Let one of the rookies have it. Give the kicker my number if Kevin is still there." Kevin be on some bull crap, he added. The Eagles' offense suffered in 3 straight losses, and that included quarterback Jalen Hurts having one of the worst outings of his career in the loss to the Chargers. Philly gave over the ball 5 times, and Hurts completed 21 of 40 passes for 240 yards while throwing 4 interceptions and fumbling once. McCoy went to tremendous measures throughout the segment to defend Hurts and did not blame head coach Nick Sirianni. The Eagles have fallen to the Cowboys, Bears, and Chargers over the last 3 weeks, but will have a more forgiving schedule to end up the year. They'll face the Raiders on Sunday before playing 2 of their final 3 games against the Commanders. The Eagles' Week 17 clash with the Bills is perhaps their hardest game left on the calendar. Philly is still in first in the NFC East with an 8-5 record. It may not be enough to salvage Patullo's reputation among the Eagles' faithful, who egged the besieged coordinator's New Jersey house following a loss to Chicago. The LeSean McCoy, Kevin Patullo controversy is not just a dramatic story about a former star criticizing a struggling coach. It represents a much larger crossroad for the Philadelphia Eagles organization, one that touches on leadership, identity, accountability, and the evolving expectations of a championship-hungry city. At its core, this conflict reflects a franchise that is drifting away from its offensive roots. Once defined by innovative schemes, flawless execution, and strong quarterback development, the Eagles' offense now seems directionless, a ship fighting a storm without a clear captain at the helm. The rapid regression of Jalen Hurts, once an MVP-caliber player, signals that the system around him is crumbling rather than elevating. The turnovers, hesitancy, and frustration on the field mirror structural weaknesses behind the scenes. Predictable play calling, poor adjustments, and an apparent disconnect between talent and coaching philosophy. McCoy's emotional outburst, while sensational on its surface, is actually a symptom of deep concern shared by fans, analysts, and even former teammates. His threat to have his number unretired is not a literal demand, but a symbolic warning. The identity and standards of the Eagles are at risk. When a legendary figure feels compelled to publicly challenge organizational decisions, it reflects how far the team has drifted from its aspirations and how urgent the need for correction has become. The Eagles' leadership now stands at a pivotal decision point. If they dismiss Patullo, they signal a commitment to course correction, restoring confidence both internally and externally. It would show that the organization listens, not reactively, but responsibly, to meaningful criticism from invested figures. It would also reinforce Jalen Hurts as the franchise cornerstone and allow the team to stabilize before a playoff run. If they keep Patullo, however, they accept the risk of deeper instability. Every offensive misstep will amplify public pressure. Every failed drive will be framed through the lens of the coordinator who survived the firestorm. McCoy's comments will linger, shaping fan expectations and media scrutiny. The team's identity crisis could worsen, and with it, the credibility of the coaching staff. Ultimately, the Eagles' response to this controversy will reveal far more than their opinion of one coordinator. It will expose the organization's priorities, its willingness to adapt, and its resilience under adversity. A franchise aiming for Super Bowl contention cannot afford complacency or confusion. This moment presents an opportunity to reset, refocus, and reclaim the offensive identity that once made Philadelphia one of the league's most feared teams. The future of this team will depend on whether its leaders recognize the urgency of the moment. The Eagles can either address the cracks now or let them expand into fractures that derail the entire season. They can honor the passion and perspective of someone like McCoy, or dismiss it and face the inevitable consequences of ignoring structural flaws. In the end, the controversy is not about hurt feelings or retired numbers. It is about the integrity of a franchise and the standards that define it. The Eagles must decide whether they will rise to meet those standards or continue down a path that jeopardizes both their present competitiveness and their long-term identity. Whatever choice they make will echo beyond this season, shaping the narrative of the team for years to come.